Hey, what's up everyone? Morty Croson here, and today we're going to be going over a key discovery in improving your throwing power. I'm going to start the video right now. You can see, and I've talked about this in the past where with the weight shift and wanting to really shift a lot of weight forward, and we see quarterbacks that do that as they're throwing, right? Generate, keep their weight on their back leg and kind of shift their weight to their front leg. But what we see here with Jalen Hurts is not really a lot of weight shift as much as he's keeping his weight back, but really rotation, right? And that's something we've been talking a lot about as well, is trying to keep that weight back, right? Not being in a rush to shift your weight forward, keep your weight on that back leg. And here we're seeing that, as well as really not a continual shift on that front leg, but instead a lot of rotation, which I love because it makes it so now we can create more hip and shoulder disassociation. It makes it so those hips can go all the way through, keep that shoulder back. And a lot of times what that does is it makes it so now we utilize more of the rotation of the core and a lot more of the wrist flick, right? How the ball leaves the hand, and takes a lot of pressure off of the shoulder. Makes it so your throw can be a lot more efficient. And I think that ends up being the key here. Being able to throw the ball further, right? Being able to increase throwing power, but not put a lot more stress on the arm or really any more stress on the arm. He's really rotating within the lower body and then allowing everything else to come through. When you're watching this and you're seeing the rotation here, this is something that we should be really focusing on improving, really focusing on implementing within the lower body, and then getting the wrist around and getting back on top. I think this will do a great job in being able to get those hips around sooner. Will help guys in not allowing the ball to get the hand behind their head too much, right? And will also make it so they'll be able to naturally create more external rotation within the shoulder, which we've already talked about in the past, are two great ways to be able to improve the throw. This is the actual video or the feature that I'm talking about here. And one of the things they talk about is when your hips are closed off, right? So he's talking about the Aaron Rodgers kind of top as he releases the throw, right? And I guess what came of this is he started to go more into the hip rotation, and he realized that the reason this was done, when Aaron Rodgers has those hips closed off, what he's really trying to do is just get that to open up, right? Get those hips to open up to make it so they're continuing to lead the throw. Right, that's really that hop is. It's a continual rotation of those hips, right? So then he can get everything opened up. They've found a lot of these baseball players actually put less stress on their arms than youth baseball players because of how much effectiveness they have in their mechanics and keeping their trunks back and being able to generate more rotation and force within their legs. Look at how much weight his head is back over that back leg, and then how much he utilizes rotation. So he's already opening up with his hips right here, and he's continuing to open up those hips and kind of sink into those hips as he's throwing the ball. The head goes to the left, the feet go to the right, and in a lot of ways he's stopping his momentum, right? Something that there's almost no quarterback coaches that will talk about stop your weight as you're going forward. If you're watching this and you're saying, hey, look, I'd love to be able to get a little bit more coaching, a little bit of understanding, we have options for that. We have breakdowns, we have mechanics, we have things like that. When you're working with me, we're looking specifically at a mechanical issue, right? A mechanical way to improve. Even, can get into programming to help improve your lower body strength, your core strength, your upper body strength, specifics within the mechanics.